Let's take a look at the tarot cards that I bought in Paris. First of all, I bought this beautiful bag from Le Galerie Lafayette. Beautiful leather strap here with a zipper pouch. Really nice cotton, thick cotton, sturdy bag. And a beautiful pattern on the front. The Eiffel Tower. And so, oh, Café Paris as well. I actually took a photo of Café Paris. This houses both decks so well. They're there. One of them I bought from the Playing Card Museum, the French Playing Card Museum, and the other one from a little shop. Not far from Le Galerie Lafayette, or Les Galeries Lafayette. So, should we take a look? So this, oh, forgot that was in there. Oh, isn't that pretty? Little postcard. Oh, let's take it out. Yes, because this was from Le Galerie Lafayette as well. And it sparkles. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? A lovely reminder of my little trip. Okay, so this is the first deck. This is the one that I bought from the French Playing Card Museum, which is the Tarot Jacob Jäger, and I think that's how it's pronounced, 1801. The other deck that I bought, and I think they had this one actually in the French Playing Card Museum, but I was sort of buying blind because they're sealed. You couldn't really see the cards inside, and my knowledge of Tarot de Marseille and ancient decks is very limited. So this was €28, and all the decks there were €28. And when I got back from the French Playing Card Museum, I did a little bit of research on the imagery that they had in the different decks, and I totally chose the right one. This was really really good that I chose this one because I really like it. So I went back and I watched some YouTube videos and decided that I'd like this one, which is the Francois Gassman 1840, and it was a lot more expensive than it was in the French Playing Card Museum. It's €39.50. But the thought of actually going all the way back to the museum, it was too much. It's quite a journey from where I was staying. So I decided, well, I'll just buy it. Never mind. So now I have the two decks, and what I thought I'd do is look at them side by side. Now, as I said, I don't really know an awful lot about these systems, about the history, but I'm learning. And one of the channels that I've discovered is quite a new channel, and it's called Taproot Tarot. That lady knows an awful lot about this sort of deck, and yeah, I shall be gobbling up those videos because I think she's so informative. She's wonderful, and I'll put a link to their channel down below. Okay, so I'm going to take the wrapping off this one. Let's take a look at it together. So this deck is smaller than this one in size. This seems to be a different system. It's a here we go. Besançon Tarot. A Besançon, which I believe is a different system. Besançon, France. So, number and limited edition of the most famous tarot of the Besançon type, produced by the German master Cartier Jacob Jäger in 1801. This tarot model presenting characteristics the differentiator of the so-called Marseille canon, reissued on the basis of an original copy from a very well preserved private collection. Now, I do believe all of these decks are Yves Renault. Yeah, Yves Renault. And this one, this is a limited edition of a tarot made in Geneva, Switzerland. This exclusive restitution was made in collaboration with the Swiss Game Museum at La Tour de Pied, Switzerland, which keeps many versions of this famous tarot. The bright colours of this edition are the result of a variety of original editions that followed each other through time. Okay, there we go. And then in French, these are the bottom of the boxes and the top. Okay. I'm quite excited. I've never in the past been a fan of this art style, but you know, it's growing on me. So I'm quite eager to actually learn. So there's the French write-up and here's the English. Okay, so Tarot Jacob Jürgen. I do hope I'm saying that properly. So born on December 7th. Oh, I was born on December 5th. 1777. No, I'm not that old. in Germany, and passing away on April 13th, 1860 in Besançon. Jacob Jürgen was a master card maker active in Besançon from 1801 to 1845. In August 1801, he married Antoinette Guénard, widow of the card maker Nicolas Labouré, and took over the fund of the latter. As early as 1801, Jacob Jürgen produced the moulds for this Besançon type tarot, a model featuring some characteristics differentiating it from the so-called Marseille canon, mainly by the replacement of the Pope and Popess cards by Jupiter and Juno, the Ace of Cup having become a Ciborium, and the Hermit, the Capuchin. Jacob Jürgen have reproduced his tarot for 45 years, but it was available for 75 years from 1801 to 1891, reproduced by card makers who retrieved the moulds. And that's who they were and when they were active: 1875, 1878, 1891. Okay. So this is number 347 of 1500. Okay, so they are limited editions. Now this one, let's see. English version. So 2 Gassman card makers are listed in Geneva. Johann Georges Gassman, born 1766, died around 1825. And Francois Gassman, 1792 to 1870, produces his tarot in the canton of Geneva. The cards generally respect the traditional canon, with the exception of 3 cards: Le Pendu, characterised by its clothes similar to those of a lansquenet, its 2 feet being attached and the head of profile looking to the ground. Le Diable and its 2 servants of the satire Velus type. La de Cou, de type Besançon, okay, so the same as this, with its shape of ciboire, topped with mouldings and framed by 2 curtains. The very bright colours of this edition are the result of choice given the variety of original editions that followed. The dotted and wavy back is a pretty duck blue on this piece, and so it is. The engraver J.P., Carlo Chariot, could well be Jean Proche, a renowned French engraver. Restitution based on several originals from the Swiss Game Museum of La Tour de Piet, Switzerland. And this is number 1010 of 1500. Okay. Shall we look at the cards and the difference between the 2 decks? That's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for. Now, I am a newbie, really. I have the JJ Swiss, one of the first decks I ever had. But this is all new to me, really. I have to admit. So, we saw the back of each card. Completely different. They have like square edges. The edges aren't rounded off in Marseille decks for some reason. And they are different colours, aren't they? I mean, I've always just looked at the Marseille and sort of cursory glance, really. And what I didn't realise until I started doing a little bit of research was the fact that the decks are different. There are actually different decks in this tradition, and I'm having fun learning all about that. First thing I'm noticing is the thickness, actually. So although this is a smaller deck in height and width, they're actually thicker cards. Quite substantially thicker as well. Now, there are 39 years between each deck, so one would presume that the technique of producing these would have been a lot better in this one. And we can see like the colours are totally different, aren't they? Like, you know, red to blue. Why? I don't know. The hands seem really awkward to me. The expressions, I mean, they're both looking downwards, but their expressions seem different. And yeah, I mean, the colours are different. And we have a little bit more different designs as well on the clothing there. The table's different. Have we got the same? We see no a playing card on there, look. And this plant is different. Here we have oak leaves, and on this one we've got Jürger's name stamped there, it would appear. That's interesting. Look at that card there. That's looks like the Fool, if I'm not wrong. It looks like the Fool. There's no playing cards on this one though. Ooh. Be very interesting. Okay, yes, so it did say that the cards had been changed. So we have Juno and Jupiter in this deck. So here's Juno, which is Hera, which is Zeus's wife, with the peacocks. So completely different. Interesting the way this sort of echoes the magician that we're used to seeing in the Rider-Waite-Smith, one hand up, one hand down. The Empress, or Imperatrice, spelt differently. She looks a little more grumpy than this one. The eagle looks different. Yeah, and this here as well has got, it's like a fleur-de-lis on this one. And what do we have here? It's very sketchy. If you know, please tell me. But this seems more blocked colour. This one seems more flowing. And the crown's different as well. So what I'm noticing is they're all got the same sort of aspect as where they're looking. So that's been carried through both decks. But it's the little details that I've changed. I mean, this Emperor here looks further up the card. Again, different colours, different outfit, different throne. And here we're used to this like cross-legged stance from the Rider-Waite-Smith as well. It's different on this one. And again, we've got that oak leaf there again. So I wonder if that oak leaf is a repeating pattern. So here we have Jupiter instead of the Pope, which would be Zeus with his firebolt. His eagle, completely different. And looking in a different direction as well. Okay, so let's have a look at the lovers then. Blindfold angel, not blindfolded. Yeah, completely different, aren't they? Although it's the same energy. I don't know what's going on with the eyes here, but they look a bit weird. Look better in this one, don't they? Why do they not quite line up? I mean, there must be a reason. See, these horses, these two are looking in that direction. These two are looking at each other. Here we've got some letters, which is possibly Jakob Jürger. But yeah, we can definitely see a difference in those eyes. The canopy's different as well. Oh, this is fascinating. Okay, Justice. The colours seem deeper in this deck than in this one. They're quite light in this deck. It's got a whole lighter feel to it The throne's different. Can definitely see the differences between the two decks. This looks very flowing, these robes. And again, different colours. Oh, that's completely different, isn't it? This hermit is like a monk, you know, in this brown colour. Where here we've got lots of colours. This is almost back to front. It is back to front, I think. Well, the handle is. Yeah, it's a different perspective. It's like that way, whereas this is that way. The skin tones as well in this deck are quite deep. Yes, they did mention about the stance of this hanged man in this deck as opposed to the way it is normally seen. And we've got really rough tree branches here. A bit more stylised in this one. I really like that. Oh, death card. Oh, again facing the different directions. I wonder if that is a printing error. Because the king is on... Yeah, if that was reversed, the king and the other figure would be in the right place. That's strange. We have a blue body here and we have a pink body here. Looks at quite a friendly death card. Both of them are not named. Temperance. Different way that the eyes are looking here. This one's looking right down. This one's looking almost sort of down but ahead as well. And look at the way the water is here as opposed to there. Got these oak leaves again. But yeah, these colours are more saturated, even if that's a way of putting it in this deck. A little bit more finesse in this one, I think. But they look very similar, don't they? Very similar. Colours different here, but yeah, they are quite similar in... Again though, back to front. They are definitely back to front. Just wondering if it is the way they've been printed. See, this one's the right way around. How strange. The little doorway there. There's no doorway in that one. And we've got all these little dot things coming down here, which we don't have on this one. This sun face here. Oh, that's adorable. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. And look at this crack there. It seems like he's almost still standing. Just the roof blown off. Star card. Oh, that's beautiful. The way that they depicted women's breasts, quite strange. We have the ibis bird in this one, but I'm not seeing it in this one. And the stars are completely different. Again, the way the water's depicted, it's just straight fall there. Oh, that's different, isn't it? That's completely different. I mean, the moon face, we're used to the eclipse actually with the face looking down, but here it's looking straight at us. That's very unusual. And these mouths of the dogs, they're not open, they're not barking, are they? Barking at the moon. And there's a path there which isn't there. Again, we've got these yods, I think, not on there. Completely different sun faces and completely different depictions of the faces on the solar twins here. And the wall is different colour as well. Judgment. This looks like one of the supplicants in the Hierophant card. Yeah, that hairstyle there. We have here is some clergymen there, I think. And the world card. Birds, yeah, quite different depictions the way they're... Oh, cross-eyed lion. And I don't know about that. They're very strange animals. Oh dear. I mean, that looks like an eagle, but that almost looks like a cockerel to me. Anyway, the Fool. That looks like a cat. We've got those oak leaves again. And those stockinettes there. Where did I see those? Same sort of pattern, design. Sort of flower there. And this Fool looks a rather larger gentleman than this one. How interesting. Le Foulama. Okay. Let's have a quick look through the minor arcana and see the differences there. It does look a lot cleaner in this deck, doesn't it? Different flowers. So these will be the batons or the wands, and they are of a different design. Flower here is more closed down than here. This one seems quite open. And the pattern that we have here is completely absent from this one. We have a little bit there, but not as ornate as this one. Okay, let's look at the core cards. This one seems a lot more fancy. Similar hairstyles though, interestingly. But the horses are different as well, aren't they? This one's prancing forward, very proud. And this one has a coat on, if that's what it's called. Oh, this one's sitting down, this one's standing up. This one looks like, don't mess with me. In cloak. Completely different feel. Yeah, look at the tosh. Little tosh there. Oh, she's so different. Okay, swords, epee. So this is tied with a nice bow. You wouldn't expect a nice bow, would you? There's the crown on this one. Very similar though. Again, we've got those different handles, but they're actually repeated on the bottom here. Very similar to this one. Different at the top, or is it top and bottom? I would imagine actually that's the handles. I'm not sure, because these look like handles, so yeah, I don't know. That's different. I am finding these quite fascinating. And I am quite eager to learn more, actually. I never thought I would be drawn to this style of deck. You know, I've always been Rider-Waite, Smith and Thoth, never Marseille. Yes, I've collected a couple of decks, a couple of French decks, but I haven't really gone into them in any depth. and they're a more modern take. Whereas, you know, these ancient decks, I think they've got a lot to teach. But it's finding that information, isn't it? I have got a couple of books, so I shall be delving into those. Let's see where I go in this little study that I'm going to undertake. I really like the court cards in the later deck, the Francois Gassman deck. Maybe they got richer as the years went on and they could have more decorative attire for them and for their horse, their steed. Look at the eyes on this one. I think it's the eyes that get me on these decks, you know. They're so, you know, strange. But yeah, I really like this deck. I mean, I like this one, but I really like this later 1841. It has more finesse, I think. You know, these like are very block colours, whereas these have had a little bit of detail added to them. It just makes them seem a little bit more refined, in my opinion, the way I'm looking at them. Look, we've got the initials again here. A little different at the top. Okay, so we don't have the writing that we get on the Two of Pentacles on this deck. I think we get it on the cups. I think that's the difference. So here, Fabrique par Gassman, Cartier à Genève. And we have our Dernier. Oh, look. That's interesting. I wonder who that's supposed to represent. And here we've got R. Why do we have R? Is it for the king or the queen? I don't know. I say I don't know a lot because I don't know. But I presume there's a reason for everything. Because it's repeated, isn't it, in a lot of decks. I've just realised the numbers aren't on this deck. They're here on this one, but not on this one. I just noticed that. Okay, our valet. Oh, these eyes. Oh dear. And isn't it interesting that there's two Dernier in the valet? He has two. And yet the Cavalier has one. Those thrones are so different. The whole actual attitude and feeling of the court cards feels different as well, especially the queens, I'm noticing. These seem more austere. Oh, we've got the checkerboard. And again, we've got the initials. He looks a lot more relaxed. This one looks really stern. Oh. Okay, the cups. Les coups. This looks like a curtain, doesn't it? I present to you on this stage my cup. So yeah, there we go. So it's on the Two of Cups that we get the information. On the earlier deck, the Jacob Jäger 1801 deck, whereas it's on the Dernier in the Gassman. We have these things that are supposed to be dolphins, I think. And this beautiful heart on this one. Yeah, there's no numbers on this. How interesting. How interesting. It took me a while to actually notice. Just looking at the pictures. These are very much more ornate, aren't they? This one looks like his little flower face. Oh, that's so cute. It's like a little face in the flower. I don't know if that was meant or if it's just not meant. That's funny. These blues are beautiful. Even his cap looks more ornate. Oh look, the cloak is covering his cup here for some reason. I wonder why that is, why it's actually covering it, or his scarf or whatever that is. Not on this one. And actually this cup looks more ornate than this one for a change. And we have this flower here, which we don't have there. Oh, very strange, and the hairstyle's different as well. And Cavalier. So this horse has like a blue this side and like a pink on the far side, whereas this one's got these blue sort of legs here, and then this colour on the rest of it. That's, yeah. Oh, it's got a spur. It's got an actual spur there. Queen. So this ermine cloak here, I don't know what this is. I'm not sure. This cup's a lot larger than this one, isn't it? I mean, we've got a cute little lip here and just a line there. But these eyes look like they're bulging. And again, these look a little cross-eyed. Oh, I shouldn't laugh, should I? But look, the crown's different as well. On this deck as well, the figures look a lot bulkier than they do on this. And again, we've got this sort of diamond pattern here. Well, that for me was really interesting. I don't know if it was for you, but I found that fascinating. Yeah, so do you do Tarot de Marseille? Do you know a lot about it? Do you want to know a lot about it? I want to. Anyway, these were the two decks that I bought in Paris. On the way back from Paris, I went to London, because that's where the Eurostar goes, Paris to London. And so I took the opportunity to go to Watkins Bookshop. Now, I've never been to Watkins Bookshop before. I've always wanted to. And I wanted to go to Atlantis as well, but I just did not have the time. In fact, there was a few places I wanted to go, but I was very short on time to be able to get the train from Paddington to Cornwall. And it was packed. There was so much traffic everywhere. So I thought, yeah, Watkins, I'll just go there. And so I'm so glad I did. I got myself a little couple of decks. So because I've been quite fascinated with Marseille, since buying those two decks in Paris, I have bought two decks from Watkins. So this one, Tarot Book and Card Deck, a 78 card Marseille Tarot deck, and a 160-page illustrated book. Helped me to learn. And then I bought, and I'm so happy with this, the New Choice Tarot de Marseille. Now, let's put this back away. I have got Rosario Salerno's Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and I love that deck. I love that deck. But when I went into Watkins, they only had sample versions left. They had 3. And so what do? Do I walk out with that because this is difficult to get now? or do I get a sample deck? And obviously I decided to get a sample deck, and so they very kindly gave it me at a discounted rate because it's been handled. What should we look at first? Let's look at this one quickly and see what we get. So it's a 2-part box. It cost £20. Let's see, it says, this beautifully designed edition of the traditional Marseille Tarot deck will appeal to collectors as well as those interested in learning how to do a tarot reading, with practical advice on how to look after your cards, how to conduct illuminating readings for both yourself and others. This is your ideal introduction to the magical world of tarot. Discover the Fool's Journey, the classic interpretation of what the universal symbols on tarot cards mean, and how to use them to provide clear insight into your everyday questions. Connect with and cherish this deck and begin your exploration of the world of tarot. Now then, who's this produced by? I don't know, it doesn't say. Does it? Actress. Yeah, Actress. Okay. It's beautiful colours on this box, isn't it? That's gorgeous. Okay, so this is the book. So we've got meanings for the minors as well as the majors. That's helpful. These are the cards. So we've got okay. We've got a ribbon with a little raised bit of cardboard there. I'm not holding out much hope for the cards themselves, to be fair. I am assuming this is one of those sort of cheaper decks. I don't know if it is or if it isn't, but let's play. Cardstock, yeah, it's very thin. Springy, very thin, but that would actually bend very, very easily. And it's a very strange colour. That background, it's like a brown almost. It's a camel colour, very strange. Okay, let's have a quick look at the book. It said it was 160 pages, didn't it? So it sort of is with the index. So all images, Mary Evans Picture Library. So the author is Alice Eckrock. It was published 2021. So we have an introduction, a history, how to use the cards, spreads, and then we're into the majors, the minors, and an index. And it says Wands, Cups, Swords, and Pentacles, so it doesn't say the French version of those. Okay, so a small introduction. It's the history. Visconti Sforza. Paper's quite thin as well. Okay. Is that Pamela? What a nice picture. Yeah, nice picture of Pamela. So it talks about the Rider-Waite Smith as well there then, and the Golden Dawn. Okay, we have correspondences. The playing card equivalent. Shall I look at this side because it's lighter? The playing card equivalent. So swords of spades, pentacles of diamonds. The element, the season, the timing, and the qualities. We're talking about the court cards, elements and qualities, timing, care, preparing for a reading, general indications, tips when reading the cards, and then reversed and selecting a significator. Into spreads, very pretty colours. So we have a 3 card with a sample reading, a relationship spread, which is 7 cards, an example of that, a horseshoe spread, 7 cards again, with a sample reading, and a Celtic cross. Astrological spread for the year. And then we're into the meanings. So, for the Fool, I embark on my journey with trust and a light heart, for the world opens up before me. So the image is the same size as the card. I quite like these. We have keywords and then a description of the card. Oh, is that it? Yeah. Oh gosh, there isn't a lot. Right, okay. Okay, this is all you get. So what do we get for the minor? So the keywords and then this paragraph here. Claw cards, the same. Okay, so just a little bit, and it's a jumping off point really, isn't it? I'll get you started. All right, so I'm going to do a side-by-side with Rosario's deck because, yes, and Rosario's deck is not in order, so I'm going to pause the video and put it in order. Okay, so they're sorted. Let's see the difference. Well, obviously the quality is going to be so much better in Rosario's deck. It's thicker, about the same width, about the same height, a little bit higher. Yeah, a little bit taller. Not much though, but a lot thicker, as you can see there. Okay. And they are going to be vastly different, but it's nice to actually see the difference. Why is the fall on the top? But yeah, it's nice to actually see the difference in style now between a really old version of the pictures, of the images, compared to a modern rendering. And Rosario is keeping the same sort of directional viewpoint. As you can see, like really similar, they still have the 3 legs on the table. It's just done so modern and beautiful. I am so in love with Rosario's decks. Still holding the coin up. Look how far we've come. Isn't it beautiful? This here. And to think of a purpose. Here we've just got High Priestess. And I think we're going to be keeping Rider-Waite-Smith sort of titles in this one. Anyway, these are the original titles here, Papess. But to think of one with tattoos. Empress. Yeah, we're keeping English titles on this one. Gorgeous. Blows your socks off, doesn't it? It's so wow. So wow. Love it. Virtue or vice? Interesting. Horses' heads and human bodies. Justice. Rosario's actually kept colours pretty similar. That's a very powerful face here on the Hermit. I like the way that Rosario stayed true to the Marseille. Very much so. Just brought it to life, really. I mean, that's a lion. That is definitely a lion. This is a stylised lion. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. The angel wings. I don't know what to say really, it's just so true to the original. And yet so fresh, so vibrant. And I'm totally here for it. We've got an owl this time though, instead of an ibis. almost lost the crystallization in the colours there. Oh, look at that sun, the solar twins. Oh, this is just bringing the Marseille to life, isn't it? Look at the backs of these cards. Oh, glorious. See, kept that as well, that hairstyle. Wow. This is beautiful. Okay, minors. So pretty. So stylized. But I think you can tell the different art styles as in the techniques used here. I mean, now I've been to the museum and seen the wood blocks and the way that they were produced. This is obviously a completely different way of producing a deck. Interesting, all these little circles here. Okay, cool cards. It's got a tattoo on the back of the leg. Interesting. I wonder why. Yes. So in this deck, they've kept English, the Knight of Wands, as opposed to the Cavalier. It's kept everything there, but just really enhanced it. I mean, even the hair, you know. The shoes. Beautiful. We got some Madonna corset going on there, which I suppose with the Queen of Wands is quite apt. A king. Roy. He spells it R-O-Y, not R-O-I, interestingly. Got the red shoes as well. Cups. I don't know what to say. It's so beautiful. This deck is just, I don't know what these are, but this deck is so gorgeous. And Rosario has actually put his initials down on the Two of Cups, not the Two of Deniers. Oh, he has. Ah, interesting. I wondered, after looking at those other two tarot decks, those other two Marseille I bought from Paris, I just wondered. So, oh, look at these dolphins that have got actual faces coming out of them. Oh, that's so good. Oh. These poppies. That's interesting. It's like the root of the plant. Grounded sort of energy here. I wonder if that's what that was meant to be. I don't know. It's going to show my ignorance again. I shall learn. Oh, how fashions change and styles. Beautiful. A heart there, look, because it's cups. This is amazing. It's blowing me away, the way that Rosario has kept every element exactly the same, and yet it has such a beautiful, different energy, vibrant and alive and gorgeous. Even the beards and the hairstyles are the same. Amazing what he's done. Or they've done. Excuse me. Okay, swords. Interesting. The briar around the sword there is very telling, isn't it? So an iris on that one. Four of Swords. Seems to be changing the flowers. So I'm wondering if there's a symbolic meaning inferred in this suit here with the different flowers. This eye. Oh, and there. It's veered away a little bit there. Daffodils. You're playing guess the flower. Might say in the guidebook, I'm not sure, we'll have a look in a bit. Oh, what's happened here? 7. So this has gone a bit strange. Why is the King of Pentacles there? I don't know. Anyway. Back to the 8. So it looks like it's smiling. It kept everything. It's, oh, this is perfection. Absolute perfection. Oh, why didn't I get this deck before? I think because I wasn't really attracted to the Tarot de Marseille. But maybe now that could change. I'm quite excited now to actually learn all about this system. I like the fact that Rosario has put these images on the Two of Pentacles. And that, it's quite Art Nouveau, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. Interesting how the 3 is bottom heavy. Wow. Coat of arms. Oh, so good. Yeah, sort of work boots here, you know, with the pentacle suit. That's, yeah, very, very good reference. They are of the earth. Earth of earth. Okay, Knight Cavalier. And finally the King. I am enchanted by Rosario's deck, and I think it's really interesting, in my opinion. Look at this beautiful burnt copper here on the edges. Isn't that gorgeous? I think it's quite interesting for me to actually do this side by side. It really helps with my understanding. Okay, so let's look at the guidebook. This is the 2nd edition. So, yeah, newchoicetarot.com if you're interested, in RosarioSalerno.com. And he's on Insta as well. Or they are in Insta. So we have an introduction. Rosario Ross, an Italian artist and teacher. Sculpture, drawing, comics. Lives and works between Italy and Berlin. Okay, 2 years to complete this tarot deck. A labour of love. I'm not surprised. Okay, here's the inspiration. Oh, I'm a little disappointed with the guidebook. The way it's... Yeah, that's not going to last, is it? Anyway, so let me see. It's inspired by some of the oldest tarot from Marseille decks from the... Here we go, 18th and 19th century, such as those of Jean-Pierre Madeny and Carlo della Rocca. Don't know them. My deck features a new modern design and follows some innovative interpretations, such as Alejandro Jodorowsky's deck, respecting all the original symbols, colours and details, but reinterpreting some of them in a new way to fit into our modern world. So modernised. For both the major arcana and the court cards, medieval style has been influenced with an avant-garde style, inspired by the world of fashion and specific places such as the underground clubbing scene in Berlin and the queer-themed parties, environments where many people celebrate the joy of life, wearing their favourite looks and fetish items. He substituted the usual Baroque elements with some more specific and modern floral decorations, referring to the Victorian language of flowers. I did wonder. So we're therefore associating each flower species decoration to the symbolic meaning of the corresponding card in order to... Brilliant. That is brilliant. Ah, yes. So each flower has its own interpretation. So the origins of tarot, the true essence... When and why we consult tarot, awareness and responsibility. Okay. So we've got evolutionary steps using the major arcana there. And we have the basic meanings. So we've got the majors. So what do we have? Grades, so the steps. So we start with the Fool here, Ulamat, and its keywords is grade 0, keywords towards the unknown. So it's very much like this one, isn't it? Very much. And a little paragraph. Okay, so that's what we get for the majors. What do we get for minors? We call them pips. So we get the numerology, we get the elemental associations, numerology of the chords, and we have the aces. We've just got a little paragraph here for each. Okay, so it's going in number fashion. And then onto the chord cards. We don't get a lot here. Basic schemes. Okay. These are the layouts. And we have Oh, look, acknowledgements. So we could actually use these for further reading. So we've got these Marseille decks here, and the books and other resources. Maybe if I can find the English versions of those. I've got that one, the English version. I think it's the same book, but that looks like The Life of Tarocchi, or The Life of Tarot. I don't know. Stephen Bright is a well-known author, isn't he? Okay, so we've got some thank yous, and then we have the contents. And this was 2018, and I have noticed it seems pretty difficult to get hold of this deck now. So let's do a side by side review of the entries in the guidebooks, yeah? So we'll do a major card. So if we do this, look at the star from each deck, seeing as that's the one that I landed on. That's the backs actually of the kit version. And we have in this, I am hope, bright as Sirius in the night sky. Sirius is the dog star. The keywords are hope, faith, meaning, inspiration, promise, healing, protection, new horizons. Here we have grade 17, inspiration, keywords, well-being, hope, success, nurturing, blessing, fertility, to find one's own place, a good omen, femininity, a gift or waste written in the stars. So it's illumination and purity. So this one says, the star is a welcome symbol of hope, inspiration and rebirth to the fall in the wake of the difficulties and uncertainties encountered in the Devil and Tower cards. In this card we see a star shining brightly in the sky above a beautiful woman who is emptying jugs of water into a stream. It represents feelings being returned to their source. Healing is possible and our sense of well-being is renewed. There is hope for the future and new possibilities are beginning to form. We are ready to give and receive love. The star promises change for the better. This is a good time to meet new people, apply for jobs and aspire towards what is really important to us. This one says, this card represents all the necessary reconstruction and regeneration we need after the destructivity of the Arcana 16. That will be the Tower. We have found a place to act in the world, the moment when we feed ourselves and drink the elixir of life, liquid gold and silver. It is a moment of reconnection to the earth and with nature. We are not afraid to show ourselves as we are, naked as the truth, as the goddess of love and beauty. It symbolises healing, replenishing ourselves, feeling nurtured, finding one's place in the world, a good omen for success and fame. In shadow, not living up to your destiny, not wanting to heal, being trapped by your hurt, giving up and feeling drained. Oh, that's clever, isn't it? Feeling drained. Yeah. Quite similar. So let's have a look at a minor. Oh, that's not a minor. A minor. Okay. So we have 8 of Swords. So here it says restriction, mistrust, inability to act, indecision, imprisonment, isolation from others. Very similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith, isn't it? Anyway, the 8 of Swords represents restriction and mistrust. A situation seems hopeless and you can't see a way out. You may feel trapped and hemmed in by your insistence on going it alone. You have run out of excuses and of ways to avoid making a decision. There is no escape. You must learn to trust others and should not be afraid to ask for help. You need to rebuild your connection with others and end your isolation before a decision is possible. So in this book we have all about the 8s, and the 8s, these are the 8th grade of the minor arcana and basically represent perfection and intuition, but also accomplishment, experience, maturity, mastery and confidence. And so we have the 8 of Swords. The intellect achieves perfection, emptiness. It indicates that the mind has ceased to identify with its concepts. And then it says the cosmos flower, that means peacefulness and wholeness. Keywords, maturity of thought, a long-term problem, a mature student, an idea is solidified, a wise advisor, confident speaker, overwhelming thoughts. Okay, so overwhelming thoughts seems to marry up, but the rest, I don't know, it's a little different, isn't it? Okay, we shall look at let's have a look at the Queen of Pentacles, or the Queen of Denier. Keywords: generous, stable, sensible, down to earth, warm, comforting, healthy, contented. The Queen of Pentacles is practical, down to earth and generous with her gifts. She has an affinity with nature and animals and radiates comfort and confidence in her body. She enjoys tending to her surroundings and taking care of others. She can be relied upon to give fair, sensible advice and find practical solutions to problems. This card may represent a mature woman who displays these qualities or can highlight the need to develop them in ourselves. Rider-Waite-Smith. That is definitely a Rider-Waite-Smith. I'm wondering if that's the same with all the cards in this deck, well, in this book that relates to this deck, if they all have generic meanings. I don't know. This is something I'm going to have to explore, I think. Okay, the Queens. So, reigns. Queens are placed among grade 4 and 5 between security and the lure of an ideal. See page 41. They own and manage what the valet has only begun to know. They are maternal, protective, knowing their suit well and focus on it and experience it. Their risk is to become exaggerated, allowing themselves to be overwhelmed by their own symbol. Queen of Coins. A materialistic woman, rich woman, an heiress, a boss woman, a guardian woman. Keywords: a bookkeeper, a bank manager, a nurse, an investor, parenting. I'm going to have to explore this a little bit further with some books and see what's happening here, because I'm sort of thinking this isn't going to be very useful, because this to me is looking very Rider-Waite-Smith. Now, I'm ignorant of this. I know Rider-Waite-Smith, I know Thoth, I don't know Marseille, and I'm just guessing here, so I'm going to have to do a little bit more reading, or start reading because I haven't yet, and see how this is lining up. I don't know. With the Rider-Waite-Smith, we've got so many clones, and some of them, they just go their own way anyway. I want to start the way I started with the Rider-Waite-Smith, with the original, and then see if the others are clones or if they are sticking to the original. I can see in Rosaria's deck the inclusion of the flowers is something new, but it does seem to me that the images are the same, and I'm just wondering about the card meanings, if they are lining up to Marseille meanings more than this one. Anyway, well, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed it too, and until my next video, bye friends, bye.